Today is National Bike to Work Day, and cities all across the country encouraging people to ditch four wheels for two.
Portland is known as a bikeable city with bike lanes on several major roads. So this morning we are talking bike safety.
That's right. CBS 13's Beth Jones joins us live now from the U.S. campus in Portland with more information on National Bike to Work Day. Beth?
Well, Jeff, we've actually relocated here to Back Cove, and now it's time for our rules of the road. We're here with Jim Tassi once again, our biker extraordinaire. So, Jim, real quick, let's just tell us what rules we're going to be touching on, and then we're going to take off, and I'm just going to hand it to you. But what are the rules that we're going to be touching on?
Well, the most important rule of the road is that you always ride with traffic. Probably the most dangerous thing you can do on a bicycle is ride against traffic. So we're going to ride on the right. We actually are going to use a bike lane here, which is carving some space for us out on the right-hand side of this road. The other important rules are that you be predictable, and that means that you signal your intentions where you're going. So this is a left turn, this is a right turn, this is also acceptable as a right turn. This is, if I do this, this means I'm slowing down or stopping, so that's for you. So just don't hit me. Okay. So you want to be riding on the right, being predictable, and using signals to indicate your intentions, and then really obeying all traffic signs and signals, just as you would in a car. I mean,
all right, Zach, you ready? Here we go. Jim, you go ahead. And we're off. Right turn.
So we're just going to stay here in the bike lane. There's sometimes stuff to watch out for. If you're riding with other people, it's nice to point out hazards that might be in the road. But Portland's got a nice system of bike lanes that they're developing, and they provide a good place for cyclists to ride, and they also send a message to motorists that this is a community that really values bicycling and is trying to make accommodation for them and encourage the mode, which is great. A little later, we're going to be talking to Bruce Hyman, who is the City of Portland's Bike Ped Coordinator. How you doing, Beth?
Doing pretty well back here. It's a beautiful morning, so we have some good weather for this as well.
So we're going to signal here that we're getting into the right lane, setting up for a turn.
And again, we're in our bright clothing, so we are very, very visible as well.
Yep.
And that's going to do it for the first half of our segment. We're going to continue with the rules of the road. Coming up ahead, there's another right-hand turn signal. For right now, Jennifer, we're going to send it back to you guys. We're getting our workout on this morning.
Okay, well, I'm just tweeting. We're making sure everybody's watching us and watching you do all those great live shots with the bike and learning some really important information, the hand signals, how to do the helmet, and also the clothes.
Yeah, how to dress. I mean, you can't miss Beth. I mean, you can see her a mile away with that neon green jacket and vest she put on. So very important.
But much better than the black one that she had on earlier.
Exactly, especially if it's early in the morning or at night, right around dusk. Hey, it's 34 now. The warm weather is here, and more people are riding their bikes as well.
Today is National Bike to Work Day, and with a lot of bikers in the greater Portland area, there are some safety tips to keep in mind, whether you're a rider or you're driving your car.
Yeah, last time we saw CBS 13's Beth Jones, she was riding around the city of Portland. Where the heck are you now, Beth?
With traffic at all times.
Hi, Jeff. We're along the Back Cove here. We just practiced another right-hand turn and a stop signal, which is this right here, and right hand right here. So that's what we're talking about. Jim Tassi is leading the way. He is from the Bicycle Coalition of Maine, right up in front. So, Jim, take it away with the things we should be keeping in mind as we're moving along here.
Well, you're always being alert. We're staying on the right side of the road, as we should be. This is a nice wide road, so there's plenty of room to ride here. But still, we're kind of paying attention to our surroundings and being alert for cars coming up behind us. You'll see me scan behind every now and again. You want to ride a predictable line, a good straight line. So even if there were a line of parked cars, we'd want to be out a good 5 feet from those parked cars, so that in the event that someone opened a door, we'd be well out of their way. But you hold a nice straight line. Sometimes you'll see people weaving into the gaps between parked cars, and those moments when you pop back into traffic can be really quite dangerous. So nice consistent lines is what we like to encourage people to adopt when they're riding a bike.
And Jim, talk a little bit about what motorists should be keeping in mind when they see bikers like us on the road.
Well, the most important thing to keep in mind is that, bikes are vulnerable users, and so you got to give them 3 feet as required by law when you pass them. And I like to tell people that, you know, when a bike is in front of you, treat it like any other slow-moving vehicle, whether it's a tractor on a rural road or a street sweeper on a city road. You slow down, you wait for a safe place to pass, and then you pass. So really, it's you want to treat a bicyclist like you treat any other slow-moving vehicle. We're going to be setting up for a left turn here now, Beth, so we're moving over a little, giving a look and a scan. And we are going to be making a left turn, so we're taking the left turn lane. We have a light, so we're going to be stopping. And when the light turns, we'll behave just like any other vehicle and make our left.
All right, well, we're at a red light right now, so we're going to have to leave you with that. But we've shown you some of the road tips. Oh, here we go. Rock on. Making our left.
The lights do not wait for the shot.
Back to you guys.
You got to be on your toes when you're doing live shots riding your bike.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, right when you think Beth is catching up on getting her breath, and she's like, oh man, I got to go again.
Nope.
Good day, Maine's Beth Jones with a tough assignment this morning, giving us a few safety tips if we're going to enjoy those bike lanes. Good morning, Beth.
John, good morning to you as well. Well, we're about ready to get on the road, but first I wanted to toss it over to Jim Tassi, Bicycle Coalition of Maine, and let's just very briefly list what the rules of the road are, and then as we're moving along, we'll talk about them a bit more, but what should people have in mind when they take to the road?
Well, when you take to the road, you should always follow the rules of the road, the same ones as you would follow if you're driving a car. So that means you're always riding on the right with traffic. You want to be predictable, and especially in urban environments, you want to make sure that you're obeying traffic control devices, stop signs, and lights. So as we're riding today, you know, we're going to be going just about as fast as cars, so we're going to take a position that's going to be, you know, occupying the travel lane for the most part.
Alrighty.
And we're just going to obey any traffic signals that come up.
All right, well, the big bus just went by, so here we go. We're taking off, and Jim, take it away with the rules of the road.
Okay, well, we're just going to be nice and predictable here. We can go as fast as traffic often in a downtown environment, so if you're going as fast as traffic, you should occupy the lane. The speed positioning rule is that slower traffic keeps right, and again, if you're going as fast as the traffic generally is, you can stay right in the middle of it, and often that's the safest place to be because you're able to see the signals that the cars are using, you're able to see the lights better, and other drivers are able to see you better. You know, sometimes being in the travel lane actually improves your visibility.
Yep.
Bearing yourself too far to the right encourages people to pass unsafely and sometimes makes you invisible to other users.
Now, Jim, we were talking a lot, too, about the fact that motorists have some safety rules to follow when it comes to dealing with bikes in the road as well. So let's talk about motorist awareness.
Well, you know, motorists should treat bicycles like any other slow-moving vehicle, which means that, you know, if you encounter one, you should slow down and wait for a safe place to pass. I think we're making a right here.
Okay, well, we're making a right-hand turn here, so we're going to be coming back in just a little bit with a little more on-road commentary on how to be safe on two wheels, and if you're on four wheels, how to be safe around us as well. In the meantime, we'll toss it back to you guys.
Okay, looks good, Beth. So much fun out there this morning. Perfect.
To get out there, a beautiful morning to get out there and really enjoy what Portland has to offer and the surrounding areas that the bike trails connect.
Yeah, just as long as you be safe and
right.
bike out there
Biking,
today.
that's what we're doing. We're dusting off the bikes, checking the tires, and getting outside.
Yes, May is National Bike Month, and today is Bike to Work Day.
And hey, Good Day Maine's Beth Jones is taking the day to heart. She's not just biking to work, she's biking for work. Beth, looks like you're having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, John, I definitely just got out this morning and said, hey, let's ride bikes, which is something I used to say when I was little and just kind of never stopped. But, you know, there is a lot to do.
Stopping.
With safety. We're actually stopped here right by the courthouse. They're letting us go. So we're talking about rules of the road today with Jim Tassi of the Bicycle Coalition of Maine. So Jim, talking a little bit more about the rules of the road, what else do we need to know when we're out here?
Well, you know, the most important thing about bicycling in traffic is, you know, if you behave like a vehicle, you're following a set of rules that the cars are expecting you to follow. So everyone's kind of on the same page. So we're stopping at a stop sign here. We're signaling, we're looking, and then we're proceeding. That's what cars expect us to do. And when you're predictable...
Which you could have predicted that
when you're predictable... everyone's on the same page and they know what you're doing. It's important for motorists to understand that bicyclists have a legal right to the road and that they have to make accommodation for cyclists who are operating safely and legally.
Signaling a stop here?
Yep, so we have a stop here.
Okay.
And going straight through.
All right. And again, it's important. You also mentioned, too, parked cars can be an issue. You want to leave a certain amount of distance between you and parked cars on the road because that can be an unknown as well.
That's absolutely right. You know, parked cars are things that you want to give a little room to because if someone opens a door into you, it'll definitely ruin your day. Beth, I'm going to have to ask you to make our left turn signal here.
Making a left turn here onto Congress, no joke. Here we go.
We're clear. But really, it's being predictable and following the same rules as vehicles that keep cyclists the safest. Oh. And moving around in city traffic on a bike, I think it's easier to ride a bike in Portland than it is to drive a car. And it's certainly much easier to park.
All right, well, so we've been talking about it all morning, guys. Things to take with you. Obviously, wear a helmet, dress bright and tight, obey the rules of the road, be predictable.
ABC Quick Check.
ABC Quick Check before you even get on the road. Lots to remember. There's always more information available at the Bicycle Coalition of Maine's website, which is, I'm reading your shirt,
www.bikemaine.org.
All right, guys, we're going to send it back to you. We're going to ride some bikes.
Great.
Peace.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Beth, this morning. Great job all morning long since 5 o'clock in the morning. And